Yes, ma'am.
The doubt. Okay. Doubt. Doubt clearance. So first you told me first thing is scales, right?
Yes. 1 second. I'll
Oh,
just open the app because I
yes, you just open the
didn't
app.
open it because. Yes, ma'am. It is, yeah, scales.
Scales. So first in this, why do some animals have scales? First question arises, why do some of the animals have scales?
No, ma'am, it's not like that.
No, I am making you understand. Just a second. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Don't panic that it's not like that. I'm making you understand. I'm telling you. Okay.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
So a scale is basically it is a rigid plate that grows on an animal's skin. Okay. It's a hard rigid plate on the outer surface of the animals. So there is also a purpose of this plate of this skin, right?
Yeah.
So it is a rigid plate on grows on an animal's skin. So it is basically to fulfills different functions, which will vary depending on the animal to which they belong, right? Because we can find these scales on fish, on reptiles, birds, mammals. So they all have different functions. So first of all, we'll discuss about fish scales. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Fish scales. So fish have dermal scales. Okay. The scales on fish body is dermal.
Ma'am, what is dermal?
Dermal is a type of skin. Okay. So
How is it, ma'am?
I'll tell you. So there is different layers of skin. So dermal scales they are formed by mesoderm. Mesoderm. So one of the cell layer that makes up the embryos is this. I mean mesoderm is one of the cell layers that make up the embryos.
One of the.
So the
Then
function. So here
what is?
I'm
Ma'am,
writing the
it is one of the cell.
one of the cell layers
One of the cell layers.
that make up the embryos.
One of the cell layers that
Dermal is nothing but skin.
they
We say derma to skin. Okay. So the function of scales, of fish scales is to resist strong water currents and serves as protection. So the basic purpose of scales on various categories of like fish, mammals, reptiles. So the basic function is protection.
okay.
protection. So fish scales, they cover the entire body and are flexible rather than hard. So which allows them to move with more ease, because we can see that the how a fish moves, right? So they do not have hard scales, they have flexible scales. Okay.
The scales are flexible.
Flexible rather than hard, which allow them to move with more ease.
Okay, ma'am.
Now we will discuss the scales of reptiles. So reptiles,
Ma'am,
yes,
1 second, ma'am.
yes,
Just, ma'am, can you just move to the first page? Actually, I forgot to write something. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
yes. Now we will discuss reptiles with scales. So do you think reptiles have scales?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, they do. So reptiles have epidermal scales. Epi means outside and derma means skin.
Outside scales.
Yes, so epidermal scales which covers the whole body. So like in case of snake, lizards, you can see, right, how hard their outer body is. So the reptile scales, they are more rigid than those of fish. So their scales are, they have a bony scale. They also have bony scales below the epidermis.
Bony scales means very, very hard
Hard,
scales.
very hard.
Okay.
So the reptile, because this characteristic is there because reptile skin is more hard and resistant. Okay? Reptile skin scales. Now, once we complete, then we will discuss words with scales.
Yes, ma'am.
So, although this may come as a surprise too, because that birds have scales, because we see that birds are very soft, covered with feathers.
Yeah.
So how they have scales? So scales does not, cover the entire body of the bird. A bird
Oh,
main characteristic is its feathers, right?
yeah.
Which cover the entire body, but
Yeah.
the legs. So a bird legs are, I'll write here, birds legs are covered by keratin form scales. So depending on the species, these scales can be found on the fingers, as they can extend to the ankle joint. Have you seen birds, legs of birds? How their claws are formed? How hard is this, right?
Yeah.
So only the leg part is formed by scales, covered with scales. Otherwise, they do not have scales. Otherwise, the
Okay,
whole body is covered with feathers, right?
okay, ma'am.
Have you written?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, what is carrot? Carrot?
Keratin is a kind of pigment that is found in, in scales in birds. So it is a pigment that is, the name is keratin.
Okay, ma'am.
So next is mammals with scales. So there are few species of mammals that have scales, but those that do not have them carry the terrestrial scales. So among the mammals, we can say that that have scales, the most known are pangolins. Pangolins, so which are covered by large hard scales.
Okay, ma'am.
So in addition, the musky rat, kangaroos, and scaly tailed squirrels, they have scales on their
Ma'am,
tails.
can you just repeat?
I'm writing here.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, is it musky rat?
Musky rat,
Musky rat.
kangaroos, and scaly tailed squirrels, they have scales on their tails.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And the last is arthropods with scales. although to the naked eye it may seem that
Ma'am, what are arthropods?
arthropod, I'm telling you, in arthropod we have butterflies and moths. So they have small scales covering their wings. Small scales. Can I turn?
Yes, ma'am.
Covering their wings. So these scales give their wings the color that they have. So what is the role of the scales on arthropods? So they isolating them from the cold.
Ma'am, so actually these give the color for the wings.
Yes, these scales give their wings the colors that they have. So these scales isolate them from the cold.
Ma'am, that they have on the wings.
Yes, they have which they have on the wings, right? The color. So isolate them from the cold and regulating them from the effect from the effect of the sun. So this is the function of scales on arthropods. Okay.
Ma'am.
Yes. Yes, Harshita, done?
Yeah.
Okay. So the question of scales is done, right?
Yeah.
So now the next is
I
next
have
to
animals belonging to higher groups.
yes.
In my book, actually, ma'am, in my book, it is like animals belonging to higher groups, except like reptiles, birds, and mammals.
I tell you the basic. There is six basic animal classes. So in the classes I'll discuss you. In the various classes I'll inform you what are the animals that comes under the various category of classes.
Okay, so you tell me the classes and where they belong, higher or lower.
Yes, yes. So six basic animal classes. So they range from spineless, simple invertebrates to complex animals, right?
Okay.
So animals we know that they are complex multicellular organisms that are equipped with nervous system and the ability to pursue or capture their food. So we have divided them in six broad categories. Okay. So the simplest is the spineless invertebrates to the most complex mammals which can adapt to a wide range of habitat. So first is we discuss about invertebrates. So invertebrates are those that are without spines. Okay, this is the
Yeah.
first category. So the first
Yeah.
animal to evolve as far back as a billion years ago, invertebrates are characterized by their lack of backbones and internal
Also,
skeleton.
invertebrates would have the spinal cord, but not the backbones. Am I right?
Yes. So the lack of backbone and internal skeleton. So the internal skeleton is also absent.
Okay, ma'am. They won't have rib cage.
No. The
No.
internal no. The internal skeleton and the backbone are absent. They lack that. They do not have.
Oh no. No.
So in this category, mostly 97% of all animal species come. So this species invertebrates have insects, worms, arthropods, sponges, octopus, and countless other families. Okay, in invertebrates. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
so should I move to next sheet?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the next class will come of fish. So a fish, first true vertebrate on earth, it's a vertebrate. So first true vertebrates on earth, fish evolved from invertebrates ancestors about 500 million years ago. So there are three main types of fish. So one is bony fish, which includes such familiar species as, so in this we have tuna, salmon. Have you heard of tuna and salmon in restaurant? In restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So second is cartilaginous fish.
Ma'am, tuna and salmon are sometimes also used in sandwich.
In what, Pashka?
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches, correct.
Yeah, I have read in some of the stories.
Yes, tuna, salmon, non-vegetarian eats them. Okay. So cartilaginous fish includes shark, rays, cakes, and last is the jawless fish. So it is a small family made up entirely of hagfish and lampreys. Hagfish, lampreys. So fish breathe using gills and are equipped with lateral lines, interconnected networks of receptors along the head and body that detect water currents and even electricity. So fish can detect water currents
Yes, ma'am.
So
Ma'am, so
next,
the fish
yes,
can, ma'am, so the jawless fish can do it or every fish can do it?
every fish. This feature is of every fish.
Okay, ma'am.
So now see, the third class is of amphibians. So here in this, the frogs, toads, salamanders, so they make up this group. Frog, toad, salamanders, and Thessalians are they are legless amphibians. Legless. So they make up this group. So which then
Ma'am,
passes
so
to
these, ma'am, so amphibians are known as legless amphibians.
no, only this Thessalians. Thessalians is
Aliens are known
legless
as,
amphibian.
I'll just note that down.
Otherwise, frog, toads,
Yeah.
everyone have. And so now, after this, they surpassed by, after this, the category which comes under amphibians is of reptiles, birds, and mammals.
Reptiles, birds, and mammals. I'll just write it down instead.
So this is the next category. This doesn't come under amphibians. This is the next category: reptiles, birds, and mammals. Next
And the
class.
next whole category is reptiles, birds, and mammals.
Yes, next is reptiles category, then
So
birds,
the
then
fourth category is reptiles, birds, and mammals.
yes. So amphibians, this is just to tell you I'm in the next category. So regarding amphibians, they are characterized by their semi-aquatic lifestyle.
Amphibians? Ma'am, you're talking about amphibians or
Yes, yes.
reptiles?
No, that's why I put this mark. So this is amphibians. We have not started with the D category. This comes under amphibians. So So amphibians are characterized by their semi-aquatic lifestyle. So they must stay near bodies of water to maintain the moisture of their skin. Just a second. Harsh. Yes, Harsh, but just a second. So they have the semi-aquatic lifestyle. So they must stay near bodies of water to maintain. Amphibians are those that can live in water and outside water also, right?
Yeah.
So they must stay near bodies of water to maintain the moisture of their skin and to lay eggs, right? So their function to stay near water is this, right?
Okay.
Moisturizing their skin and to lay eggs.
Okay, ma'am.
And today they are among the most endangered animals in the world. the most endangered animals in the world. So now we will discuss the category B, that is of reptile. So there are four basic type of reptiles.
So the D is reptiles, next is birds, and then only mammals.
Mammals, yes. So this way the classes are defined. First the invertebrates, then comes the vertebrates, fish, or we can say vertebrates. Then the category of amphibians, then reptiles, then birds, then mammals. So this way, from lower to higher class, the animal categorization is done. So the
Okay.
basic type of reptiles are crocodiles, alligators, then next is turtles, and fourth is tortoise. Then in this we have snakes and lizards also, right? Snakes and lizards. So they all comes under reptiles. So reptiles, they are characterized by, can I move to next sheet? Yes, Harshita?
Ma'am, I'm writing.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So reptiles, they are characterized by their cold-blooded metabolism,
What
so
is metabolism?
metabolism is the functioning of their body, the internal digestion. So metabolic activity is what happens inside the body. So they fuel themselves, right? They fuel
Ma'am, I
themselves.
can't understand metabolism.
Metabolism is that how their body works, right? Because reptiles have different kind of skin. They have hard skin, right? So the working of, they are cold-blooded metabolism. Okay? So they fuel themselves. Just a second. They fuel themselves by exposure to the sun. So because they have scaly skin and they amphibians, they lay their eggs at some distance from the bodies of water. Okay, the amphibians doesn't lay eggs inside the water. Sorry, reptiles.
One
Reptiles.
second. Yes, ma'am.
So unlike amphibians, they lay the eggs at some distance from the bodies of water. While in case of amphibians, they lay the eggs inside water, right?
Mm,
But not in case of reptiles.
yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now the next category is of birds. Birds. So the birds they are characterized by the coats of feathers, right? By their coats of feathers and their warm blooded metabolism. So they have a wide range of habitat, right? Some can remain in very cold area like penguins,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
some in other. So they have a wide range of habitat. So the last category is of mammals. So after all, humans are mammals. So we so and so were our ancestors. So mammals are they are characterized by their hair or fur. So which all species possesses during some stage of their life cycle, and the milk with which they suckle their young and their warm-blooded metabolism. They have same as birds. They have warm-blooded metabolism. So which, as with birds, allow them to inhabit a wide range of habitat. Right? Man also, human beings also. Some human beings they stay in very cold area, right?
Yeah,
And some can stay in very hot area also.
yeah,
So they have a wide range of habitat. So ranging from deserts to oceans to other snowy areas. Okay. So this way the animals so they are divided into different classes. Have you finished?
one second. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I think you're in mute.
Oh, sorry. Should I move, Ashika, to next sheet?
Yes, ma'am.
So next we will discuss diaphragm. Right?
Yeah.
So first of all, you tell me what do you understand by diaphragm?
Um,
Where
ma'am,
it is located?
I think I saw something, I think in YouTube. The diaphragm gives hiccups.
Where it is located?
It is like somewhere near to the lungs.
Yes, very good. So
That's
it is,
all I know.
yes. Okay. So this is basically a primary muscle used in respiration. So respiration, which is a process of breathing, you know. So
Yeah.
it is a dome-shaped muscle located just below the lungs and heart. It contracts continuously as you breathe in and out. So I am just making you understand. I am not writing further that what is the function of diaphragm.
Okay, ma'am.
So shall I start?
Yeah.
Okay. So the diaphragm, it is a thin skeletal muscle that sits at the base of the chest and separates the abdomen from the chest. So it contracts.
Ma'am, or else for the diaphragm, you can like type it out and send in the chat.
You want me to type?
Yeah, you can type it in the chat for the class.
So just making you understand, then I'll send.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then
And then
I'll send it to you on app. Okay.
yeah, yes, ma'am. And
So
then I'll write it.
yes. So basically, it contracts and flattens when you inhale. Okay. So at the time of inhalation, it contracts and flattens. So this creates a vacuum effect that pulls air into the lung. And when you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes and the air is pushed out of the lungs. So this is the function of diaphragm. Okay, during inhalation and exhalation. Okay, so how it works? It contracts and flattens when you exhale. So and when you inhale, sorry, it contracts and flattens when you inhale, and when you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes and air is pushed out of the lungs. Okay, so it also has some non-respiratory functions as well. The diaphragm increases the abdominal pressure to help the body get rid of vomit, urine, and it also places pressure on the esophagus to prevent acid. Okay. So there are three large openings in the diaphragms that allow certain structures to pass between the chest and the abdominal. So the openings that are there, first is the esophageal opening, then the aortic opening and the caval opening. So the esophageal opening, the esophagus and the vagus nerve, which controls much of the digestive system, pass through this opening. And aortic opening, what do you understand by the name aortic opening? Any guesses?
No, ma'am.
So, and what is aorta? Aorta, you don't know. We have not discussed. You forgot. Aorta.
I no, ma'am.
Aorta. So the aorta opening, the aorta, the body's main artery that transports blood from the heart and pass through the aortic opening. Okay, so it is the main artery that transports blood from the heart. And
Okay.
third is the caval opening, caval, caval opening. So it is, there is an inferior vena cava, so a large vein that transports blood to the heart and passes through this opening. So the main function of diaphragm is in respiration only. The main function, if asked to you, is in respiration. Okay? And in case of respiration, I told you that what happens during the at the time of inhalation and what happens at the time of exhalation. Okay.
Yeah.
So the other part are mimicry and tetrapod foldings, something you wrote, right? So this
Yeah.
we discussed. This two is left. So this we will discuss in next class. Okay.
Yes, and
And
then I
then
even have many doubts left
in which chapter?
in this same chapter in the backside questions. I forgot to send it to you
So you can send
because
those
I had
questions to me.
cold and I went to my native.
What happened to you? What
I had a cold.
cold? So then,
I was even in my native, and yesterday I came back at 10:30, so I couldn't send.
okay. So, okay, whenever you get time, you just send me. So then we
Yeah,
will
I'll
discuss
send it maybe tomorrow.
by tomorrow. Okay. Okay, Harshika. So now we will meet on Wednesday. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Harshika.